Random, a treacherous frontier. These are the voyages of the channel Downsize It. Its continuing mission, to explore strange new genres, to seek out new games and new player communities, to boldly go where no nerd has gone before.
Greetings, my name is Ben, aka Downsize It, and today we are continuing our Star Trek Into the Unknown ship breakdowns, and this time we are now going into the Dominion ships, the Jem'Hadar Battlecruiser, the command ship of the Dominion, and the counterpoint to the Federation's command ship, the Galaxy class. This is the big boy for the Dominion. So a quick look at its ship card here, as you can see, and similar to the Galaxy class, has 8 reserve energy, so lots of power to work with. Let's look at the Battlecruiser's station, starting with the captain's chair. And we have the standard call alert and warp. However, we have a unique ability to the Battlecruiser, and that is the threaten action. It can only be done as a priority order. And you have to have the social and security skills. You get to add 1 peril to a unit that's at comms range. So you can just freely hand out a peril to an opposing ship. Very nasty. Something you probably want to do on a regular basis. At the helm, we also have a unique ability. We have the standard impulse, but then if you did the impulse as a priority order, you can remove an advantage from a ship at 2 inches within your 180-degree arc after you move. So basically, you fly up at impulse right into the face or just near a Federation starship or opposing starship, and they have an advantage on there, you can basically say, nope, that advantage is now gone. You don't get it anymore. Then combine that with threaten, they now have also a peril that they can't get rid of. Very interesting combo to think about. For instrument station, we have the standard sensor lock, but no probes. None of the Dominion ships have probes naturally. They have to purchase it as an upgrade card. Their sensor stat is 4,360 and 4 inches in their forward 180 arc plus instrument rating. You'll notice that its boosted arcs is a 180-degree arc out the fore as opposed to the cone, which is what the Federation ships were. And then comms 6 inches in a 360, and then 6 plus instrument rating in the 180-degree forward arc. And now for the tactical station, the weapon systems of the Battlecruiser. It has phased polaron beams, and these were the weapons that pierced through Federation shields, and they couldn't figure out why for the longest time. And for some reason, they didn't pierce through the Klingon shields. I wonder if when we get the Klingons, if the Klingons will have immunity to phased polaron beam pierce or something. I'll be interested to see if they implement that. But anyway, phased polaron beams, maximum of 4 dice per shot, 6 inches. 180 degrees out the front for 2 of them, and then 1 out the back, 180 degrees, with a special ability of Pierce 2. And how this works is that when they're attacking, they can spend up to 2 Analyze to ignore 2 shields of the ship that they are attacking. And this effect lasts for the entire attack sequence. So if your first shot you get 2 Pierce, shields are now reduced by 2. Second shot, the shields are still reduced, but you can't reduce any more. The maximum reduction that you can have when you're doing Pierce is equal to your Pierce value for an entire attack sequence. The maximum shield reduction is 2. But, it allows you to do like 1 for 1. If like, so you only get analyze 1 on your first attack, pierce the shields, then you get another analyze on your second attack. You can then pierce the shields for a second time and have the total of 2 for the second attack. Only one photon torpedo launcher, though. It fires out the 4, but it has the widest arc so far in the game. You can actually go 2 notches on the tool, so you can fire it almost sideways to really get those arcs you need to chase down the fleeing Federation ships. The med bay, we have the standard medical care, but also a unique ability to the battlecruiser. As a priority action, you can distribute Ketracel White. It requires social and technical plus an energy, and you get to inspire this unit. So this is how you can get the battlecruiser and crew inspired to get those higher crew dials. And Ketracel White was essentially the drug that the Jem'Hadar took. They had it basically these vials on their armor, and it was basically a control drug that the founders implemented to keep the Jem'Hadar under control and submitted to them, because only the founders provided the Ketracel White via the Vortas. In the cargo bay, we have readying an officer and forming a team. But you cannot launch shuttles, so the Jem'Hadar do not have, of course, Type 6 shuttles or runabouts. So the only way you can actually get crew to and fro for the Jem'Hadar ships is via transporters. And then in engineering, the standard ready, getting your reserve energy back, and then transporting personnel within sensors range. For the core stats, we have 1 evasion. It's a big boy, so easy to hit. 3 resilience, so similar to the Galaxy class, you need 3 breakthroughs to make it through the shields to be able to do a damage card, and a maximum warp factor of 9. For its alert dials, we have green alert 1. It's interesting, even though it has the probe symbol, can't launch probes unless you have the upgrade. Reserve power of 1. 9 inches for weapons or for engine power with 2 maneuverability. 1 weapons power, so you can actually fire weapons at green alert 1 for the battlecruiser. 2 instrument rating, 1 shields fore and aft. Green alert 2, we have 1 reserve power. 7 engine power, 2 maneuverability. 1 weapons, 3 instrument rating, 2 shields on the fore, 1 on the back. For yellow alert 1, still no torpedoes, but reserve refresh of 4. I believe this is the highest in the game so far natively. So you get a lot of power back at yellow alert 1. 6 engine power, 1 maneuverability, 3 weapons power, 2 instrument rating, 2 shields on fore and aft. Just making a comment, this is a really, really good alert level stat. I imagine a lot of Jem'Hadar players will probably stay at yellow alert 1 until they want to fire torpedoes. It's a really good balance of all your stats all together. Next we have yellow alert 2, and now we have the photon torpedo we can fire out the front. Down to 3 reserve power, 5 engine power, 1 maneuverability, 3 weapons, 2 instruments, now 3 shields on the front, 1 on the back. And red alert 1, torpedoes, 2 reserve power, only 4 movement, but with 2 maneuverability, 5 weapons power, 1 instrument rating, 4 shields on the front, 2 on the aft. So definitely you want to get behind these battlecruisers to get through those shields. And then red alert 2, and this is where you see the true potential power of this battlecruiser. Torpedoes, no reserve power back, only 4 engine power with 1 maneuverability, but 6 weapons power. That's the highest in the game so far, even higher than the Galaxy class, for potential of 12 total power with your reserve to assign to weapons attack. Although the maximum you can actually do, well, no, if you have the side, yeah, you could actually do full 12. I was starting to think the maximum you do is 8 out the front, but if you line up on the side, you can do 2 4s out the front, that'd be 8, then 1 4 out the back with your 180-degree arcs, so you can do 3 phase polaron beams into 1 target with 4 dice each. If you go to red alert 2. No instrument rating, so no rerolls, but if you really want to just put the hammer down and just hope you get lots of good rolls. And then 6 shields on the front and 3 on the back. Now let's look at the crew dials. So for the battlecruiser, we start with 4 command, 4 ops, 3 science. Inspiration level 1, we have 5 command, 5 ops, and 3 science. In Inspire 2, we have 5 command, 6 ops, and 3 science. You notice the weakness in the science skill. compared to the Federation, but really good in the ops and command. First crew level going down, we have 3 command, 4 ops, 3 science, then 3 command, 3 ops, 2 science, 2 command, 3 ops, 1 science, 1 command, 2 ops, 0 science, and then 0 across the board disabled. So similar to the Galaxy class in having the most crew levels. So you have to do more crew damage to the Battlecruiser in the Galaxy class to get them to disabled status than any other ship, which makes sense. They're the biggest ships, they have lots of crew. Now for the hull status in its dial. Starts with 8 hull. At 7, still in the white. At 6, still in the white, but our first damage card. 5 is where we hit the yellow. 4, still in the yellow. 3, we get our first crew hit in the yellow. Then 2, we hit the orange with the damage card. Then 1, still in the orange, with another crew hit. And then lastly, 0 disabled, and then 0 destroyed. Very interesting how its damage track is different from the Galaxy class. Now for the unique damage cards for the Jem'Hadar Battlecruiser. We have a deadly hull breach assigned to any station fore or aft. During the hazard phase, each personnel on this end sustains a trauma. And then you have to be in the captain's chair to get back the emergency fields with an Ops plus Mechanics 2 test. And if you fail, more crew on the ship are killed. Wouldn't you know it, the Jem'Hadar Battlecruiser also gets exploding panels. 4, Bridge Station. Hazard phase, opponent can remove a peril to make the officer take a trauma by moving the card. And then repairing in the med bay as is standard. Command plus Mechanics 3 to get rid of it. If you fail, you add a peril. Ooh, we have Ketracel White reserves are lost. This is only in the aft section assigned to the med bay. During the hazard, you gain 2 peril, and then an opponent can spend 3 peril from the ship to inflict 1 trauma on each personnel in the aft end. Oh, that's brutal. Basically, the drug that the Jem'Hadar need are, they basically start losing their minds, they're going into withdrawals. You basically you want to repair this. And yes, quell uproar. Basically, a riot's going on in the back of your ship because the Ketracel White reserves are gone. So, Captain's Chair, Command 2 plus Discipline, or Command Difficulty 2 plus Discipline to get your Ketracel White back. Give them the drugs. Then we have Sensory Display Disabled. 4 section goes on your instrument station. After the ship makes an impulse maneuver, an opponent may rotate it up to 1 notch forward around the turning tool. Ooh, so after you move, your opponent can then make you turn and maybe get you on a different heading that you didn't want. Or maybe even take weapons out of arc, perhaps. You have to reset the displays in the med bay. Ops plus Mechanics difficulty 3. If you fail, you gain a peril. And we have Weapons Relays Obstructed. And this goes on the tactical station, so you can't shoot. 4 section. During the ready phase, you remove your ship's sensor locks that you have on other ships. You have to reset the EPS in the engineering bay with the Science plus Mechanics difficulty 3. If you fail, you gain a peril, and this is going to be a tough one for Jem'Hadar to do because they are not good at science. So this is a really bad one for the Jem'Hadar to get. And then lastly, we have the Antimatter Containment Disabled, essentially their version of the Warp Core Breach. But this can actually happen at the fore or aft, not aft only. So in the hazard phase, reduce hull by 1, but it looks like you don't blow up if you go down to destroyed, unlike the antimatter containment failure. But when you have this, though, from the command chair, you can have now the action Final Strike, basically ramming speed. Test command plus discipline, difficulty 2, and if you're at 2 inches on an opposing ship, you can do the ram action. We're taking you with us, basically. Or you can try to stabilize the antimatter in the engineering bay. Ops plus Mechanics difficulty 3, and if you fail, as like the others, take damage to the crew or the person doing the test. So that is it for the Jem'Hadar Battlecruiser. I really like how it is very different and unique compared to the Federation ships, especially when you compare it to the Galaxy class. Forward facing, that's really what it wants to do. And of course, heavily into combat ratings and all that good stuff, and also command and ops skill, weak in science. So you want to look for, basically want to play for the missions where you can do ops and command tests and try to limit your science stuff, and also handing out perils. handing out perils, removing advantages, and then inspiring yourself by basically giving out the drugs, the catch yourself white action. Okay, we have one more ship class to go over, and that's the Jem'Hadar Fighter, which I will be coming up next. So, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, take it easy.